Lesson 3, we're looking at common factoring in polynomials. So let's first take a look at the word factoring and understand what it's asking us to do. Factoring is the opposite of expanding. So we know that if I have 3 times x plus 2, I distribute the 3 and I get 3x plus 6, and this is called expanding. If I start with 3x plus 6 and I make the question look back like 3 times x plus 2, that is factoring. And so the operation that we do when we expand, we know is multiplication. And in order to go back to that original question, the operation we do is dividing to get there. So common factoring, just remember it's the opposite of distributive property. And how to common factor, we find the largest term that is common to all the terms in the polynomial. And so the hint is for variables, choose the lowest degree of the variable that is in all the terms. And lowest degree means the lowest exponent. So you're looking for the variable with the lowest exponent. For coefficients, you choose the largest number that can divide evenly into all the coefficients. All right, so let's take a look at what I mean by that. So we're going to factor completely. So let's start with the coefficients. Between 4 and 12, what number divides into both 4 and 12? The largest number possible. And that would be 4, right? If I have 4 and 12, I know I can divide 4 by 4 and 12 by 4. And so that's what I'm going to write out front. So we are saying that this 4 here is common to both terms. All right, now let's look at the variables. I have an a in my first term and nothing in my second term. There is nothing common. So the common factor for this question is only 4. And now what we do, I'm just going to add an a here. So 4a we divide by 4, which leaves us just with a, or 1a. And 12 divided by 4 is 3. And we're done. Okay, so essentially what we did, we just divided the first term by 4, which gave us 1a, and we divided the second term by 4, which gave us 3. And then those are the factors that are left in the brackets. And we can check this by distribution again. If I have 4 times a minus 3 and I use distributive property, 4 times a is 4a and 4 times negative 3 is a negative 12. And that's what you can do if you want to do a quick check to see if you did it right. And we see we get 4a minus 12, and that's what we started with here. All right, let's take a look at b. So for b, we're thinking between 8x to the y, and what I'm writing down on the side of my page here, this is what I'm thinking in my head. Eventually, I don't want you guys to be writing this. This is something that we do in our heads. All right, so for 8xy, negative 20y, what is the largest number that can divide into both 8 and 20? And that would be 4. 4 divides into both. So we're going to put that out front. Now we look for the variables. I have an xy in the first term and a y in the second term. What they have in common, they both have a y. So that is also what we're going to divide by. So we're looking for what is common in both. So now what we have to do is figure out what are the factors that result after I divide both terms by 4y. So 8xy divided by 4y, we know 4 goes into 8 2 times. There's nothing to divide the x, so we're doing the quotient rule. We have y1 divided by y1, which will result in y0, and we know y0 just goes to 1, so this is gone. All right, so when I divide 8xy by 4y, I'm left with 2x. And now I have negative 20y divided by 4y. So we start with the coefficient. Negative 20 divided by 4 is negative 5. Y divided by y, again, we know it would be y to the 0, so it's gone. And I just have a negative 5. Okay, and then you can double check this by going ahead and just expanding. So I'm just going to do this in my head. 4y times 2x would be 8xy. 4y times negative 5 is negative 20y. So we know we did it correct. All right, let's try the next one. If you're feeling strong on any of these, remember you can always pause the video, try it on your own, and then turn the video on to see if you got the same as me. All right, so we're going to do 6x squared minus 9xy. So again, this is what I'm thinking in my head. What coefficient, what number divides into both 6 and 9? So I know 3 will divide into both. Okay, so that is my first common factor. I have x squared and I have xy. So I can see I have x in common, but how do I know if I divide by x squared or if I divide by x? And that's the hint we saw in the box up here. For variables, choose the lowest degree or the lowest exponent. So between x squared and x, the lowest would be x. So that is my common factor. And I don't have a y in my first term, so I cannot include that as my common factor. So 3x sits out front, and then in our heads we're thinking 6x squared divided by 3x. If you need to write it down, you can. 6x squared divided by 3x. 6 divided by 3 is 2. And x squared divided by x, remember we use our quotient rule. We keep our base. 2 subtract 1 is 1. So I have a 2x left here. 9 divided by 3 is 3. X divided by x we know would be x to the 0, so that's gone, and I'm left just with a y, so plus 3y. Okay, and that's our final answer. And we can double check. 3x times 2x is 6x squared. 3x times 3y is a positive 9xy. Oh, that's not what this is. So that means I made a mistake on my sign. And so this should actually be negative 3y. And that's why it's good to go back and do the expand, and so you can check to see if you did it correctly. All right, D, we are now going to be doing a common factor for 3 terms. So we do the same thing. You look, what's a common factor for 3, 8, and 12? Well, the only thing that divides into 3 is 3, and that definitely won't divide into 8. So this time I don't have a common factor for my coefficients. So now I'm going to look at my variables. I have x squared, x to the 4, and x squared. So for my variable x, the lowest exponent that's in common is 2. So that is what's going to come out here, x squared. Okay, now I'm going to look to my y's. So I have y to the 3, y to the 2, and y to the 2. So again, my variable with the lowest exponent is going to be y to the 2. So x squared, y squared is my common factor. And now I have to divide each term by x squared, y squared. So here's my first term, 3x squared, y cubed, and I divide it by x squared, y squared. So the coefficient in front is 1. 3 divided by 1 is 3. The x squares cancel. Y cubed divided by y squared would be y to the 1. So there's my first term. Now we're going to divide by the second term. Now I already made a mistake over here with the negative, so I don't want to do that again. So negative 8 x to the 4 y squared divided by our common factor, x squared, y squared. So we know the coefficient is 1, negative 8 divided by 1, so it's going to stay negative 8. X to the 4 divided by x to the 2, we keep our base and subtract. 4 minus 2 is 2. Y squared divided by y squared, we know is gone. All right, so we have negative 8x squared, and now let's do the last term. So I have 12x squared y squared, and I'm dividing by my common factor, x squared, y squared. We know 12 divided by 1 is 12, and x squared divides by x squared goes to 0, goes to 1. Y squared divided by y squared also goes to 1. And that's my common factor, or my factored expression. All right, let's try E. Okay, so I'm looking for a common factor between negative 27, negative 9, and 3. So I can see that 3 would divide into 27, 3 divides into 9, and 3 divides into 3. So 3 is my common factor. But there's something different about E compared to the first 4 we did. E, the first term is negative. Now when I go to do my bracket, I never want my first term in the bracket to be negative. So to fix that, I'm going to divide by negative 3. That's going to be my common factor for my coefficient. All right, now let's take a look at my variables. I see x squared, x, but no x here. So my only common factor is going to be negative 3. So I take my first term, negative 27x squared, and divide by negative 3. So negative 27 divided by negative 3 gives me a positive 9, which I want a positive coefficient for my first term, and there's nothing to divide my x squared by, so I just leave it. Okay, my next term, in our heads, we're thinking negative 9x divided by a negative 3. So negative 9 divided by a negative 3 is a positive 3, and there's nothing to divide by x's, so I just leave it. Okay, and the next term I'm thinking in my head is a positive 3 divided by a negative 3. 3 divided by a negative 3 is going to be negative 1. All right, hopefully you're getting these on your own without me. Same thing, maybe try doing this next one without me. Pause the video and then come on back. All right, so I can see I have my first term is negative, so I definitely know I'm going to have a negative out front. I can see my coefficients are 5 and 10, so 5 divides into both. For my variables, I have x cubed and x5, so I take the variable, the exponent with the lowest degree or lowest exponent. So x3 is my common factor. So negative 5 x to the 3, that's what I'm going to divide every term by. So in my head, it's negative 5 x to the 3 divided by negative 5 x to the 3. And I can see that negative 5 is 1, and x to the 3 divided by x to the 3 is 1. Okay, so my first term inside is going to be 1. And then I have 10x to the 5, so this is what I'm thinking in my head, divided by negative 5x to the 3. 10 divided by negative 5 is a negative 2. X to the 5 divided by x to the 3 is x to the 2. And that's our final answer. All right, I'm going to do this one without writing what I'm thinking on the side. And let's see if you guys can do the same. So what number divides into 18, 24, and 9? Well, 9 goes into 18, but it does not go into 24. 3 goes into 9. 3 goes into 18, 3 goes into 24, so I'm going to have a 3 out front. The 3 is positive because my first term is positive, and we want to keep it that way. Now let's look at my x's. I have x cubed, x squared, and x. So my lowest, or my smallest degree would just be x. I have y squared, and y cubed, so I'm going to do y squared. All right, that's what I'm dividing each term by. So 18 x cubed y squared, when I divide by 3xy squared, 18 divided by 3 is 6. X cubed divided by x would be x squared, and the y squares cancel out to 1. Negative 24 divided by 3 is a negative 8. X squared divided by x is x, and my y squares will cancel out. 9 divided by 3 is 3. X divided by x would go to 1, and y cubed divided by y squared would just be y. All right, let's go on to our next one. We have a negative out front. That means I know I'm going to need a negative for my common factor. And 4 goes into each of these expressions. And d squared is my lowest, my variable with the lowest degree. All right, so divide. Negative 8 divided by negative 4 is 2. D squared divided by d squared goes to 1. Negative 16 divided by negative 4 is a positive 4, and d cubed divided by d squared is d. Negative 28 divided by negative 4 is a positive 7, and d to the 4 divided by d to the 2 is d to the 2. Good, hopefully you get common factoring. These last two, are they the last two examples? Yes. These last two examples are factoring by grouping. So this is factoring by grouping, and I'm going to have to make another video to do these last two because I'm almost at my 15-minute mark. Okay, so I'll be back in the next video.